already covered in sweat and dirt. Let's do this. Okay, that is slightly better. Hi guys, this is Avalon. I've got my last dregs of coffee here. It is about 8:30 a.m., which is much earlier, unfortunately, than I'm used to waking up to, aside from the days I need to water. I'm here under this amazing, gorgeous trellis, which I had help building. I'll get some full shots of it later on, but I wanted to share with you guys today. I got a very... I splurged a bit. I'm a bit guilty of that. Thanks to some fortunate circumstances, fortunate relatively, over the summer, I was able to order a rose, an en route climbing rose from heirloomroses.com. I'll probably link them. This isn't sponsored in any way. I'm just telling you guys where I got it from. But anyway, I've been eyeing their roses for a very long time now, especially because you can only really find grafted bare root roses around where I live, and even then it's sort of a journey to get to them. I don't live near very many retailers who have good quality roses. And while I've had pretty good success, as you guys may have seen on my Facebook, with bare root body bag roses and keeping them in containers and letting them establish that way, I wanted to try my hand at something a little bit more higher tier, if you know what I mean. So, gosh, I believe it was back in May or June I ordered from Heirloom Roses, and well, it finally got here yesterday evening, and it was a bit late for me to film and sort of do an unboxing of sorts, but forgive me, I'm floundering. I don't know how to do videos. So I decided I would wake up early today, water the garden, and sort of film my little process of getting my new rose in the ground. I know how to do this in theory, but in practice it's much different. And you know, normally I was picturing my YouTube debut to be much different. You know, I didn't expect to be covered in you can't really see it much on camera, but I'm covered in, you know, mud and bug spray, sweat, no makeup. Many of you guys are used to seeing me in really heavy makeup to the point where I don't even look human. But really, since even before quarantine, I've just been like this, you know, dressed in pajamas basically, messy hair, and, you know, with sleeves and pants and socks that get really, really hot during the summer, but it's kind of a necessity to try to stave off the mosquitoes that get pretty ballsy. Can I say that? Can I say ballsy? I'm really hoping my microphone picks this up because I've never recorded with this webcam before. So I guess let's get on to showing off my new plant. So I've already opened the box itself just to get the poor plant out. But here she is. Doesn't look like much. She was defoliated before being sent from Oregon, which was quite a journey. I live in Louisiana. So, yeah, there's a few little bruises there. A little bit of a dead leaf right there. But arrived, no broken canes, lots of thorns. I'm gonna have to be really careful with this one, but at least since it's a climbing rose, she'll be able to really climb up. I've already got one on this side of the arbor, which is actually, you probably can't see it much, it's still kind of baby, but this is a cutting from my grandmother's rose next door. Very, very fragrant. And of course already adapted to this climate, so I know it'll probably do pretty well with minimal maintenance. All I really do is occasionally spray it down with neem oil to help with black spot, which can be a really big problem here with the heat and humidity. Bee! If you hear buzzing next to the camera, I am so sorry. Though I shouldn't feel like I have to apologize for the honeybees being out and about and sort of indulging themselves on the grasses that are flowering around here. But anyway, this beautiful little twig, the variety is called Kiss Me Kate, which I'm sure a bunch of my friends named Kate will probably laugh, but go ahead, have a giggle. Very, very attractive. I was very close to ordering a David Austin rose, and which are like really nice. But for my first own route climbing rose, I didn't want to get something that high tier and immediately have it die. I don't expect to kill this baby. I will do my best not to. But you know, just in case, especially with it being fall, I haven't really planted any roses in fall before. It's always been in spring. So this is all just a big experiment. It's a learning experience. Just glad this thing got here safely. But what attracted me to this one, as opposed to a very big fancy David Austin rose, is that supposedly disease hardy to an extent. I really picked it out for fragrance and color of the blooms. It's sort of a lighter pink that I don't have in my current rose selection. And since I focus a lot on using the petals for, you know, tea or candying, you know, putting them on cakes or using them for desserts, I focus a lot on fragrance and edibility. These bloom with very lovely cup-shaped blossoms that are, again, as I said, a lighter pink, a different shade of pink than I already have. Picked it out for fragrance because to me the more fragrant the rose, the better it tastes, you know, the more flavor carries through the whole sensory experience. And I'm not sure, she might not bloom until next spring, but I'm willing to be patient. You know, it'll all be worth it. That's one reason why I love growing roses so much, is because it is so rewarding with how high maintenance they can be. Came in a nice humid bag with a 1-gallon container, zip tied, as you can see. See right here. I'm not sure if you can see. Kiss Me Kate. I will probably link the page from Heirloom Roses down below. If you're viewing this on Facebook, I will post photos of what it should look like in the future down in the comments. It did come in a box, as I said. It's a nice big box, came with planting instructions. See? Live roses grown in Oregon. And so far it's been a really pleasant experience. I know they sort of stagger their deliveries and their sending, so you might have to wait to order, or you know, there was a time frame in which they ship out, which I kind of appreciate. You know, they're not just going to randomly send out the plants, you know, if they're not in good shape enough to ship. You know, apparently they're like, just from what I've seen, they're really into quality, sending out good quality, healthy plants, and that's really reassuring to me since I don't usually order plants online. The only other plant I've ordered online has been my Camellia sinensis tea plant, and that was from a local, well, somewhat local, within the state of Louisiana nursery, so it's not like it was in the mail for a week getting tossed around. So I already have a spot sort of dug out of the mulch. I haven't dug a hole yet. Probably gonna finish my coffee first. But I already have a spot next to the arbor that I'm going to train the vine up. And, well, let's get this baby in the ground. Oh, whoops. That's a root. Probably should have done this in advance. As you can probably see, there's quite a bit of clay in our soil, so I'm definitely going to be amending this. I've got a bucket right here full of aged compost and manure, and it seems to mix in pretty well. The other rows on the other side did really well with this, so I've got my hopes up. If it doesn't go well, we'll just see. I'll get some other materials and do a replanting. Friend. Always makes me happy to see these guys. Forgive my shaky hands, but as you can probably see, there's still quite a bit of clay. I will go back and mulch this later on. Right now it's already getting a bit warm, and I don't want to physically push myself too much. But here she is, all in the ground, ready to climb up. Get a full view of the arbor, because I'm quite proud of this feature. It's got some solar fairy lights on it that really are lovely at night, and I'm hoping to intertwine the lights with the roses as they climb. Good luck, beautiful little friend. So I think that went pretty well. I apologize for any weird angles or camera mishaps that might have happened that I didn't notice. Again, this is my first time really kind of making a video for YouTube. I have no idea what I'm doing, so please be kind. Not just to me, be kind to just in general. You don't realize how out of shape you are until you start doing stuff like shoveling and gardening. You know, that's all good. That's part of why I started gardening in the first place, was to get myself a little bit more active, get myself physically moving to combat some of my other stuff going on health-wise. So I'm probably gonna leave this part of the video here, go and shower, clean myself up, get ready. See, after 10 minutes, the mosquitoes start ignoring the repellent. So yeah, I'm gonna go get cleaned up, get ready for a tabletop game I have later, because I need to go be a cleric, They need a cleric. And I'll get back with you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Hi everyone, I'm back. It's about a week after I filmed the initial video, and well, quite a bit has happened. As some of you might know, we've had two hurricanes move through, and thankfully I am so grateful that we are in a part of the state that really didn't get affected too much. We've had several thunderstorms move through, some pretty heavy wind and rain. There's a lot of water out there, but our house is fine, our area is fine. The garden really didn't take too much of a hit. Some of the okra, as you can see, it got a little bit bowed over, but I've noticed the okra tends to do that. It'll spring back to normal in a couple of days, and it'll be fine. The okra, we're actually letting go to seed because I've already gotten such a huge harvest from it this summer, and I'm the only one in the house that actually really enjoys eating okra. So I'm really grateful for these plants, and I might need to trim them back a little bit since they're sending some shade onto the roses and the potatoes, but I'm not going to do really any heavy work outside until after the rest of this weather passes and it dries out a little bit. This water has also really brought out the worst of the mosquitoes so far. I was going to film this little bit outside before it got too dark, but they're vicious. I really had a lot of trouble getting some of the shots for this little update. Yeah, they were really bad. And as for a proper update on the rose, as this was the whole reason for really making this video, the rose has been doing splendidly. After getting some water and being fed, I have so many leaves already coming out, and I don't know, to me it looks a little bit taller. Could just be me and some wishful projection, but so far no pest attacks, no real fungal issues, and I'm really happy with how this rose is doing so far. And my grandmother's rose and several of my other roses are starting to bloom as well. So things are doing pretty well. I guess the biggest casualty of the garden from this hurricane was that one of the baby watermelons got broken off the vine and shriveled up. But that's okay, I think it was going to do that anyway because of some pollination issues. But that was the first little fruit of this particular vine, and there will be plenty more, and I'm not worried. Thank you all so much for the well wishes and the messages, making sure we fared okay. Again, we're fine. I'm really hoping that everyone else did as well. My heart goes out to those in Lake Charles, Alexandria, western Louisiana, and eastern Texas. I know there was a lot of heavy damage sustained and a lot of flooding. And as someone who stayed home through Katrina, there are no words I can say. If you are able, I would say donate to a reputable organization. I will do a little bit of searching and have a couple of links down in the description. Every little bit will help with recovering the areas and the families affected. Or still getting a little bit of rain. I apologize for the wonky lighting through this part of the video. We're losing sunlight really quickly, and I'm still sort of trying to figure out this setup. There really isn't much of a setup right now. As you can see, we're about to paint this room and still kind of cleaning up, getting things ready. I'm really hoping to have a proper little studio in the near future. I don't expect much of an audience from this video, if I'm going to be completely honest. I'm very bad at social media. Most of my following, a very small following, is made up of people who I know in real life, from work, from traveling, from going to events, and I'm just really bad at putting myself out there. So I don't really think many of you would have much of a reason to subscribe to my channel, especially because this is the first video. I have no inkling of what kind of schedule I'll be able to keep to, if I'm going to be able to keep to an upload schedule at all. Um, what kind of content I'll be putting out, or really this whole thing is just a different way to give an update on my day-to-day life for people who already know me. That's not to say that I won't be expanding this channel, and I really hope to, as I've been wanting to do this for years. But if you enjoy this video, please let me know. If you would like me to do a garden tour one day of my humble little sanctuary, then I would be more than happy to. As I'm sure many of you have been keeping up on my personal Facebook with my progress and with my successes and failures of growing things over the course of the summer. But I don't really feel like I would be filming the same garden twice. You know, it changes every time I go out there. And there is a moth that is very distracting. Hi, friend. Just don't fly into my candle, please. If you made it this far in the video, I'm astounded. I couldn't listen to myself talk that long. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. And if you would like to, please like and subscribe. Go give a like to my Facebook page. Again, I don't really have a plan or a schedule for what I'm going to do here, but whatever I do end up doing, it should be interesting. Thank you again. I love you all. Please be safe during these times. Please be kind to each other. And I love you all. Bye.